guys, welcome back to 𝘿𝙘𝓬𝓲𝓬𝓴𝔂. Today we have a new deck for you called the Sticky Scourge, featuring our Muk once more from Brilliant Stars with the Sludge Street ability, allowing you to add the retreat cost of your opponent's poison Pokemon by 1 colorless. So how do we use this card? We are trying to build a control deck around that ability with our neutralizing gas Weezing, severe poison the active Pokemon with our attack, and then shut down, lock their ability, plus adding retreat costs, so basically trapping them in the active spot with our Galar Mine. Instead of having that Stadium Galar Mine, we have our Pokemon's ability to activate the retreat trap instead. So we have only one copy of the Stadium, and if they play Air Balloons, we have that one copy of 𝘿𝓚𝓬𝓬𝓴𝔂 to disable that tool card. We have our regular control cards, 1 TBL Grunt, 2 Boss Orders, and 4 Crushing Hammers to discard their energies. We have also our regular support cards to switch. We have 2 Bird Keepers and 3 Hiding Energy plus 6 basic Darkness Energy to help us attack. We are playing our VMAX card here, 2 copies of Crobat with the Dark Asset and 2 copies of the Stealth Poison, helping us hit and run, activating the ability lock, neutralizing gas Weezing, and then lock them in the active spot with our Muk's ability Sludge Street as well. So this is a super strong combo. We're trying to poison them every single turn with either Stealth Poison or Weezing because we need to, otherwise we can't activate the Muk's ability. So we also get to do Shrieking Poison for 90 damage, poisoning and confusing our opponent's active Pokemon as well for only 3 energy costs. We have no twin energy though. That means we are forced to attach 1 energy at a time to our Muk, but that's okay because we are trapping our opponent every single turn with ability locks, and also that Galar Mine trap through our Sludge Street ability instead of our Stadium card. That means they are trapped in the active spot. They can't do anything. We're discarding their energy cards. We're Boss Order, targeting any Pokemon with heavy retreat cost or any Pokemon that cannot attack without attaching a lot of energies to it. So we're basically stopping them from attacking, stalling for time, and basically attaching energy until we get to attack with either Crobat, Stealth Poison, or Max Cutter. And we can also attack with Shrieking Poison, confusing their active as well, trapping them in the active spot and forcing them to flip the coin, making this a super annoying control deck. So for this combo to work, we need to set up fast because we need to evolve our Pokemons to activate the ability, and also we got our Ascension, 4 copies of Koffing to help us evolve into the Weezing, locking their abilities. Turn 2, if we go first, if we go second, turn 1, we get to lock them already. So we get to Ascend, we get to VIP Pass for our basic Pokemons on the bench, evolve on the next turn into Muk, and basically lock them in the active spot. All we need to do is Severe Poison or Stealth Poison to add the amount of energies in their retreat cost, trapping them in the active spot. So we want to trap as early as possible. That's why we got so many balls. No capture in this deck just because we need Darkness Energy for Weezing to work. So 3 quick balls for Dark Asset Crobat or any other basics. We also have 1 level ball for our baby basic Grimer or Koffing. We have 1 Ultra Ball to get our evolution card and 3 evolution incense as well. As for our supporter cards, we have our regular Marnie, 3 copies, 3 research, and also 1 Shauna, 1 Pierce, and 2 Bird Keeper for the draw. Pierce actually help you get a Crobat or any other Pokemons that you need at the moment. You can even get your evolution or bench another basic Pokemon. So Crobat Dark Asset allows you to draw cards with your Pierce. It also helps you get that special energy to retreat. So it's definitely very useful to have for any darkness or poison box deck. That's why we're playing 1 copy of it here, but it's important to know that Dark Asset does not work if your opponent plays Path to the Peak, and we don't have a lot of Stadium cards in this deck to kick out that Stadium. So that means if they play Path, we can't actually use Pierce to draw cards anymore. So that's the bad thing about this deck, is that if they play Path to the Peak, this deck is not going to perform that well just because we have not many supporter cards to spare. But we are stalling them, we are buying a lot of time with our neutralizing gas, trapping our opponent with abilities, forcing them to discard energy as well. So that actually helps us buy a bit of time to get our supporter cards in time to draw even more cards into our hand and basically set our system running. The only concern though is if they play that Path way too early, like on their first turn, then we only have that 1 copy of Galar Mine to fall back on to basically allow us access back to our Dark Asset to draw cards once more. Finally, we have 1 Rod to help us recycle our Pokemon cards energy as well. We have 1 Manaphy to protect our bench and 1 Escape Rope to help us retreat and also force them to switch their active with one of their bench, trapping the new active Pokemon. So that's all for the deck list. Let's go for gameplay. So let's go for our first one against a Psychic Water Box. I'm guessing a Malamar. So they actually have a Fire Coin though. Malamar with Octillery, Shady Dealings, Drizzile, Inteleon. I mean, Inteleon is super annoying, but we are locking their ability, so that means they can't use Rapid Strike. Yep, it's a Malamar. There we go. Malamar with Karina's Focus. They can't use Rapid Strike Search. They can't use Make Do, Cinccino. They can't use Shady Dealings, obviously, and no Quick Shooting. So no abilities with our Weezing. They need to either Escape Rope or Boss to avoid the neutralizing gas ability lock. But that's quite easy to pull off. How many times can they do it though? Because they're going to need to do it quite a lot of times to be able to draw enough cards to knock out maybe 2 Crobats. So our best bet here is to play as few Crobats as we can, limit the amount of prize cards that they can take, and force them to struggle to do a knockout. Even a Weezing is quite difficult to knock out just because they actually need 4 Rapid Strike cards in their hand So 4 is not that difficult though, but if they don't have the ability, they can't get the Korrina's focus even, they can't get anything without the ability. So they are relying heavily upon their Rapid Strike abilities, Shady Dings and Cinccino as well, to help them draw cards. That is their main strategy. So if we lock them, that's the end, right? They're completely stuck. And I just realized that we're playing a darkness box as well. That means they are weak towards poison type. We can actually hit for twice the damage with our Crobat. So Stealth Poison is going to kill Malamar with 1 hit. Severe Poison, not so much, just because it's only poison. So let's just keep our hand and then evolve the next turn maybe. Because we actually just need 1 energy to retreat for Crobat. We're not going to research. We're just going to keep our hand. Okay. Severe Poison actually helps you lock them in the active spot though, but if they evolve, they can recover from the special condition. I don't think they're playing Pokemon Center Lady or Lumberry. I don't think, you know, a Malamar deck has that. Pokemon Center Lady is not a Rapid Strike card. Drizzile is actually not Rapid Strike as well. There is a Rapid Strike Drizzile, but it doesn't has the Shady Dealings ability. So it doesn't work with your Malamar that well. But it actually helps you get your Cynthia, it helps you get a lot of the cards that you need, I suppose. Anything Research, Bruno, or even your item cards like Fog Crystal, Korrina's Focus, yada yada yada. So Octillery Cinccino would actually do though. I would prefer nothing but Octillery Cinccino and then maybe 1 or 2 copies of Bruno, Cynthia, and that would be it, right? That would be enough. I don't think Drizzile is that necessary. It actually forces you to get round the Rapid Strike problem because you actually have more cards that are non-Rapid Strike. Cinccino is already not a Rapid Strike card. That means you're adding that few copies of Drizzile and Level Ball as well. Level Ball is fine though because you actually get to swap them for your Inkay and then shuffle them back into the deck with the attack. So Rapid Strike Tentacle actually does so much damage. You get to do a 1-hit knockout if you have enough Cinccinos and if you play Cynthia at just the right time. It's quite a broken deck to be honest. I don't think anything but a Weezing can kill it or a Rapid Strike Urshifu, but if they have Manaphy, they can completely destroy Urshifu Rapid Flow unless you pull out your Inteleon fast enough and you know, snipe that Manaphy and Rapid Flow at the same time, because 120 is actually enough to kill a Malamar. So if you Rapid Flow once, you can kill off an Inkay, a Malamar on the bench. Sorry, a Malamar and an Inkay on the bench, and they're done. They're basically screwed because they actually need to bench 3, up to 3, and well, if they rescue carry the Manaphy back, they can actually bench 2, and that's enough, right? So Manaphy, Inkay, but they need to rot back a lot of cards though. So that's a bit of a hassle because it's a stage 1. Okay, so they already knocked out the Crobat, but that's fine. We still have our Weezing ability lock on the next turn. So here we go, we got our first neutralizing gas. Let's stay positive because it's looking really bad. They drew their first 2 prize and we haven't drew a prize card yet. We are poisoning them right now and locking them in the active spot. So let's hope that does something. I think we actually played a boss here because we wanted to knock out the Cinccino, but I was actually preparing to kill the Cinccino just because if they boss, they can actually avoid the neutralizing gas. So I was expecting them to do a boss this turn, that's why I did the boss order. But it was actually a big mistake doing that because they can evolve and then remove the poison and it's back to 90 HP. That means we need 2 more strike. We need 2 more Pokemon checkups to kill the Cinccino. So now it's only 40 damage. We need 2 more Pokemon checkups and that's 1 entire turn. That's 2 turns, 2 players' turns. We got a research for the next turn. Let's hope they don't play a Marnie. I don't think a Malamar has a Marnie, right? I don't think they have the space for a Marnie. They got Korrina's Focus. I think Korrina is like the best supporter card because you get to draw it, you get to use it for Rapid Strike Tentacles, you get to draw cards with it as well. Research and Cynthia, Bruno, I suppose. Okay, here comes another Sobble. They haven't got their Octillery yet though. Remoraid, I think they may have it in their hand, preparing to kill our Weezing, so we better be benching another Koffing. In case they escape rope, we get to actually, you know, put another one in the active, lock them with this with a second Weezing. Okay, they can't do anything now unless they escape. There we go, they did the escape rope. That's annoying though. They already did a knockout on the last turn, so I'm just gonna put the Crobat. I don't think they have enough to kill us, because if they attach an energy right now, they're only doing 160 damage, right? And if they shuffle everything back, that means they can't, they are stuck on the next turn, because we're definitely gonna retreat and lock them with our neutralizing gas. So I don't think they can afford to do a knockout this turn. Oh, but they got Cinccino though. So they could have actually done a Crobat knockout, but that would have meant they need to shuffle everything back. Okay, they got a Remoraid. We're gonna stay positive, guys. We're gonna stay positive, and we got a 𝘿𝐿𝐺𝐺𝑚𝑒r. I don't think that's gonna do anything. 𝘿𝐿𝐺𝐺𝑚𝑒r against a Malamar deck. So we got a Hiding Energy, preparing Crobat to attack on the next turn. We're gonna research, discard the Manaphy, we don't need that. We got a Rod to recycle the Weezing if we need to. So that's Quick Ball for... I don't think we need a second Muk, because if they play Rapid Strike, if they play Tower of Waters, we can actually force them to discard one energy and that's it. I don't think they have the luxury to discard energies, because we have our Crushing Hammer. If they retreat discarding the energy, then they're gonna have to spend another energy just to attack with the bench Malamar. And that means if we knock them out, we actually get to discard even more energy cards with our Crushing Hammer for the next Malamars. So if they attach energy, they better be attacking on the same turn, otherwise we're gonna Crushing Hammer them, because they're actually one energy attacker, so we better be playing that item at the right time. Okay, we should be getting a Koffing though, but we actually got a Muk, another Grimer, which is a bit weird. I think I actually thought about that too late. Should have anticipated another escape rope. Okay, we got 2 more copies of Hiding if they somehow boss the Muk. I'm putting an angry face there because I'm pretty sure they're gonna boss right now. Like, that's how lucky they are, you know. Meta decks, not only are you super broken because you're playing all of those broken abilities like Shady Dealings, and Malamar is crazy broken on its own. Cinccino Malamar on its own is like so strong and impossible to defeat sometimes. Virtually impossible, right? Because it's doing so much damage for one prize. You just need that Manaphy to lock your opponent from doing multiple prize draw in a single turn. If they do like something like a Mimikyu or place damage counter, knock out 2 Pokemons at a time, then they can actually win quite easily. But I don't think they can do it against a Malamar deck. So if you play a basic that does attacks faster than your Malamar, a 1 prize basic, then you can win a Malamar deck. Or you know, stage 1 versus stage 1. 1 prize versus 1 prize. But Malamar is so difficult though. I don't think anything can win against a Malamar but a Weezing. Because they need to draw, right? They need those abilities like mad. If they don't get the Spiral Energy, they can't attack. If they don't get their Tower of Waters, they can't retreat. If they don't get enough cards in their hand, they can't do enough damage. So they're completely stuck unless they get the right cards. If they get a Scoop Up Net right now, they can actually do it. They can kill off the Weezing, and we're down to no Koffings on the bench. That means we can't lock them on the next turn. So let's hope they don't do the knockout this turn. We actually poisoned them on the last turn, but they evolved. That means they can retreat now. All they need is 1 energy, but they actually had to attach to the Malamar. So they can't actually do the retreat, but they can do a switch. Tower of Waters doesn't work for Drizzile, as we all know. If they don't attack this turn, we're so gonna Crushing Hammer them. We're so gonna hammer that Malamar. Oh, we got a Koffing. Here comes the hammers. Are we gonna Rod? Let's just play the Rod right now. I don't think we need to Rod anything else back. Should we put a Crobat? I don't think so. We're not offering them extra prizes, right? So let's just do the Crushing Hammer and then Marnie. And we got a heads. That's great. Okay, we're gonna Marnie, reduce their hand by 1 card. Help us get a good hand, hopefully. We got a Crobat VMAX. We're gonna evolve our Grimer and then evolve the Crobat as well. If we don't evolve Crobat now, they're gonna boss kill it, right? So we better be evolving the VMAX. We actually got the Weezing, which was quite silly, but I suppose that actually forces them to do a Marnie. If they Marnie, we actually get a better hand. If they don't Marnie, we get to evolve the Weezing, so it's, you know, it's good either way. But we only have that many incense though. I don't think we have any more incense inside the deck. So I don't think it's that wise to have done a Weezing with the incense. We should have kept the incense and wait for them to Marnie us. And if they don't, we can actually lock them on the next turn. Okay, here comes the Malamar. We can actually attack. We were actually baiting them because if they put Malamar out, we can do Stealth Poison to knock it out. If we don't do a Stealth Poison, then Crobat is gonna be stuck in the active spot and they can do a knockout for, you know, and not only can they do a Crobat knockout on the next turn for 2 prize, they can also avoid the Weezing's ability lock. So we need to evolve. If we don't evolve, we can't use the hit and run effect, and we can't reactivate neutralizing gas. So I suppose they weren't expecting a VMAX. But we got it. Okay, we got our Weezing, Grimer. We're just gonna bench those two. We don't have any more Crobats inside the deck. Okay, this is like the perfect matchup though, because they're playing so many abilities. I'm so happy right now. You have no idea how many Pokemon, how many decks that I've played against without abilities. Like whenever you play a Weezing, they always match you up against people that don't play abilities. You know, Arceus V-STAR doesn't play ability. What else? A lot of decks doesn't play ability actually. I don't think Zacian needs an ability. In Trapezoid, it's not that important. If they do it on the first turn as well, you can't do anything, right? If they go first, you can't do it on the first turn. Okay, we got a research. We're just gonna bench that Grimer. So that means Sobble can't retreat, but if they evolve into the Drizzile, they're gonna have to waste that evolution though, just to retreat. And they're gonna have to waste an extra energy. So let's just do Shrieking Poison maybe. We're just gonna attach that one, yeah. So let's not forget Muk can attack as well. Muk is quite strong against VMAXs because you can confuse them in the active spot. If you can have an extra Muk on your bench, extra 2 more Muks on your bench, that means you can attack with the 3rd Muk on your active spot, confusing them and trapping them in the active spot with your poison as well. So Shrieking Poison can actually do a lot. And they just pass the turn doing nothing because they need 3 energy to retreat. Even with the Tower of Water, they still need to waste 1 energy. Okay, we got a Crushing Hammer. Passing the turn, they got knocked out. That means we get to kill another one. Poison another one, not kill though, because we don't have a boss. I don't think we can kill anything on the bench as well. Oh, we actually got a Hiding. That means we get to do Stealth Poison. So Stealth Poison is collecting a knockout. We better be doing a knockout this turn. We have 4 prize cards on both players' end. So let's go ahead. Let's get, you know, a little bit further in the game by doing a knockout this turn. Okay, now we're slightly ahead of them. Rapid Strike Tentacles. They can finally do a knockout, but they need to bench another Inkay. No boss order, fingers crossed. I don't think they have that many. Playing a Malamar, I don't think they need a boss. Unless we play a Weezing, obviously. Because Malamar can kill anything. Malamar can virtually kill anything. Anything. It's fucking annoying and insane. Over broken. It's a Rapid Strike. Like, come on. It's a Rapid Strike. It's not supposed to be set. It's not supposed to do a 1-hit knockout. It's not supposed to kill anything. It's not supposed to be an assassin. It's supposed to be, you know, a tactician. Okay, let's just focus on the game. Rapid Strike Rotary. I'm just really pissed at Rapid Strike because Rapid Strike always wins. I'm so happy that Urshifu is off the board now. Like Urshifu, I've beaten Urshifu so many times now. I'm kind of used to it because Urshifu is completely destroyed with Menifee. You just need that one copy of Menifee and one Rod in your deck or one Rescue Carrier, and Urshifu is completely broke. Is completely, you know, hammered. You get to completely destroy Urshifu. So let's quick ball for something. I'm not articulating that well, sorry guys, but let's actually do a knockout this turn with our Stealth Poison, get another Weezing. We actually got the last one inside the deck, that's great, we don't need to use a Rod. So I'm wondering if we should play a Marnie. We actually got our balls already, we got Ultra Ball, we actually have another Incense though. Interesting. We have 3 Muks in our bench, but that's not doing anything because we actually did a retreat so that we get to do a Bird Keeper. But we should be saving the Bird Keeper though. I think I was doing that in preparation for a Marnie. If they play a Marnie, we actually get to save our hand because we have 9 cards left. I don't think Marnie is going to destroy us that bad. Get to draw 5 cards with the Marnie. 4 cards plus that one from the top deck if they do a Marnie on us. Okay. We got a Galar Mine. That one copy, we're only having 1 copy in this deck. If they play Stadium cards, we can actually remove it. If they play Tower of Waters, we can force them to, you know, find their second Tower of Waters, I suppose. But the main thing is Muk. Muk's Sludge Street ability actually helps you neutralize the Tower of Waters, forcing them to have back to, you know, add the retreat cost back to up to 2 or even 3. I think Malamar has 3 energy retreat cost. So you can't actually retreat with Malamar that easily, but if you have Malamar in the active spot, you can do it. You can immediately attack quite easily, so I don't think you need to retreat with the Malamar. Okay, let's just prepare the Shrieking Poison. It can do quite a decent amount of damage. So let's not give up on our Muk and leave it bare. We just need 1 energy from our hand to max cut them, to the max cutter. But I don't think Stealth Poison is going to kill them. If we have a hiding energy with Pierre's, we can't kill the Octillery this turn even. So that's why I paused the turn doing a Severe Poison. There's nothing else we could do. Are they going to finally pull a boss order? No boss. So many turns without a boss, no escape rope. I think the first escape rope was the only one, the first and the last. Fortunately. Rescue Carrier. No Menifee though, I haven't seen a Menifee discarded or played yet. So I don't think they are playing any Menifees. That's very risky, isn't it? I mean, for any deck that you play, especially one prize, you need at least 1 copy of Menifee inside your deck. We actually started off without a Menifee for this one, for this list. But eventually I decided to add, upgrade the deck by adding 1 copy. You can't go without a Menifee, you just can't go without it. Because Rapid Strike Zeraora V, there's gonna be a V-Star though, isn't that mad? Zeraora is already that broken, you get to use Memory Capsule for your Zeraora V-Star. Oh my goodness, Cross Fist, can you imagine? But Menifee is gonna completely shut that card down. I wonder if it's a Rapid Strike. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a Rapid Strike, right? Zeraora V-Star. It better be. Blaziken should have a V-Star as well. Like all the V cards. All the V cards. Off the board. Cursola V-Star. Appleton doesn't have a V. Appleton doesn't have a VMAX. It's actually the same though, Flapple and Appleton. Flapple and Appleton has the same Gigantamax. But there should be like a Dynamax Appleton. I don't know if there's such a thing, but there should be like a, you know, Appleton VMAX Dynamax. But VMAX is kind of expired now. It's not really that strong anymore. So we actually played a Marnie and paused the turn, knocking out the Octillery with Poison, because they can't actually retreat. They can't even retreat with the Tower of Waters, because now they need 3 energies. Look at that. Tower of Waters is reducing by 2, but we have 3 Mucks in play, so that's back up to 3 energy retreat costs for the Octillery. So that is a full-on trap there. We're trapping them with Poison and Sludge Street, so that's the perfect matchup. Just the perfect matchup, because they have no air balloons in their deck. We got only 1 Tool Jammer though, no Avery as well. Avery is gonna completely crush us. Not that much though, because even if we discard another Weezing, I don't think we need the second Weezing anymore, unless they escape rope. Probably gonna keep 1 Muk, maybe 2 Mucks and a Crobat. I don't want to discard too many Mucks though. I want to leave 2 Mucks in play. I really like Muk though. I don't know why anyone has thought about this yet. Like, Muk control deck is quite obvious, isn't it? Because instead of your Galar Mine, you got your stage 1 to activate the effect. That means Stadium cards is not gonna work. If you play your Stadium card, Galar Mine is completely crushed, but not against a Weezing Muk deck. If you play Weezing Muk, they are still stuck. That actually rhymes. Okay, that's the last prize. They're down to the wire. They're down to their last turn. If they don't pull off a boss this turn, if they don't pull off a Crobat VMAX knockout this turn, they're done. Even if they knock out our VMAX, we have our Shrieking Poison to kill off the Malamar. So they have to somehow attack with another card, which is ridiculous. Or maybe trap us with boss order, trap the other Muk, the Muk without energies. So we got the hiding, we got to retreat and do our stealth poison for the final knockout. So that's the win. We won against Malamar, Rapid Strike, very meta deck. Super happy with that win. Killing a meta so easy with our Weezing ability trap and retreat trap. Okay, now we're up against a grass type with a Venusaur coin. A grass deck, wonder what they're playing. If they do a Rillaboom or a Cherrim, they can't use the ability. So fingers crossed they're using abilities. If they play something like Celebi VMAX even, they still can't use it. Star Bloom, the new VSTAR Shaymin. You can't use the VSTAR power because it's an ability. You can't heal 120 damage from each of your grass Pokemon. I think only your bench though. Each of your benched grass Pokemon. That's quite weak, isn't it? It's quite a weak ability. Not only do you only get to heal 120, only 120 is quite low on its own, but to each of your bench is quite a lot though, right? But only on your bench Pokemon, it should be all of your Pokemon, right? But only on your benched grass type and 120. So that's triple limitation. I would prefer like heal all damage from all of your Pokemon. That would be quite broken though. heal all damage counters. Heal all damage from all of your grass Pokemon, right? At least, because you only get to use it once. 150 HP at least, 150 damage. 120 is not going to do anything. Star Blue, Ivy Star, Crystal Star, Star Birth. What else do we have? I don't even know. Star Blaze, right? I was gonna say I forgot what Charizard's V-Star power is. Okay, they're playing a Rillaboom deck. So we better get our Manaphy out fast. It's fucking Rillaboom. Excuse my language. G-Max Drum Solo, 180 damage. They can kill our Crobat VMAX with 2 hits. They can kill the V card with 1 hit, so we better watch out. We better evolve it fast if we want to play that card. I don't think we get to go without our Crobat VMAX. We need to play our VMAX because they are playing a high HP Pokemon here. I don't think we can poison it to death. because they are attaching energy every single turn. All they need is 4 energies, and 4 turn is enough to stay in the bench and then attack at the last minute. So we better get a Crobat this turn. Oh, we need Manaphy though. So are we gonna get Manaphy or Crobat? Let's just prepare Shrieking Poison. Let's do Shrieking Poison for the confusion, and then get a Manaphy. We need a Manaphy right now. I don't think we get to do a Crobat. So we need to somehow wait for our Weezing to get knocked out. Let's just prepare the second Weezing. Are we gonna do that? Are we gonna prepare the Grimer or the Weezing? Okay, let's lock them from using Voltage Beat first. So no Voltage Beat. Okay. So they are playing Shaymin. Look at that. Shaymin V-Star with the Star Bloom ability. Star Bloom for 120 damage recovery. I think I said that already. So we gotta research Grimer with Muk. We have 3 copies on our bench. They just did a Marnie. That's horrible. Oh man, every time we have a research, they do a Marnie. We got a VMAX without the V. That's horrible. So this is actually quite tricky right now. We actually have to wait for the knockout. We have to wait for them to kill off one of our Pokemon before we get to bench a Crobat. And we still need to think about evolving that Crobat, so this is quite bad now. I don't know what to do, honestly. It's not looking too good for us. But they still need a few turns to evolve. Sorry, to attach energy. Because they can't do the Voltage Beat. We better evolve the second Weezing, otherwise they're gonna Escape Rope and we're done. They can't avoid the ability lock if they do Escape Rope on the next turn. Okay, there we go. Weezing, Weezing, Weezing. Weezing first, then Muk later. Ability lock is more important, far more important than your Muk, but let's do both this turn. Let's aim at doing both. So I'm hoping to drag out one of their V cards. If they put the V as the active, we actually get to poison them, but they're evolving though. They're gonna evolve the next turn, which is quite silly. I forgot about that. Evolving actually erases the special condition. But at least we get to trap them, which is not doing much because they're attacking on the next turn. We get to Team 𝘿𝓚𝓲 though. 𝘿𝓚𝓲 is gonna help us buy a bit of time, and poison them a second time if they evolve. They can actually decide to heal by doing the first attack, but it's only 30 damage recovery. Drain Punch. Okay. Rillaboom has no ability. So they got Turffield for the VMAX evolution, or the V-Star. You can do one or the other. Star Bloom, they can actually pull off a Star Bloom. Oh, they can't because Weezing, my bad. They can pull off the Star Bloom if they do a boss. They can basically boss the Muk and then Star Bloom at the last minute, healing all of the poison damage counters. So this is gonna be quite risky. If they pull off a Shaymin at the right time, they can actually win this game quite easily. So let's deny them that Star Bloom by killing off the Shaymin as fast as we can. I think that's our priority. I don't think we need to worry too much about the VMAX yet. Because if we focus all of our energy and resources on the VMAX right now, they're probably gonna heal back all the damage counters with that Star Bloom at the last minute, do a switch, and then Star Bloom, recover all the damage at the bench. It's kind of counterintuitive though. Is it counter, what do you call that? Counter strategic, because it doesn't really match with the attack. Star Bloom heals your Pokemon, but Revenge Blast does more damage if your opponent do more knockouts. So if you heal your Pokemon, that means your opponent is not doing a knockout that easily. And if they don't do enough knockouts, you don't get to do that much damage with your attack. So Shaymin is kind of it doesn't really work that well. The attack and the ability is kind of in contrast. So let's just buy a bit of time with that one Team Yell. Poison them and force them to evolve, I suppose. I don't think they're gonna pass the turn not evolving. Let's hope they don't have that many Thwackies. If they don't get their Thwacky or Rare Candy, they can't actually evolve. Turffield is gonna get them the stage 2 or the stage 1. But if they have either the stage 2, if they have either the Thwacky in the prize or not enough rare candies in their hand, no rare candies in their hand, my bad, then they can't do the evolution. They can't recover damage. They can't actually retreat right now because we have one Muk. They need 2 energies to retreat. Okay, they are attaching the energy back to the Rillaboom. That means here comes the Thwacky. Oh my god, that's horrible. Okay, we're just gonna do a research. We need to be getting Crobat into the game somehow. I mean, we can't win without Crobat. We're just gonna attach to our Muk, do a Shrieking Poison later. If they do a Rillaboom, I'm gonna flip out. I mean, they're probably gonna do it, right? Oh my god. This is bad. They're either gonna switch or do a Rillaboom. If they switch, it's quite bad as well. But they already spent 1 switch card. Let's hope they don't have that many switch in this deck. So our only hope playing a Weezing control is if your opponent run out of switch cards. If they play a lot of switch cards though, with Escape Rope and Bird Keeper, then we can't actually do much. Okay, research for a switch probably. Voltage Bead. They got the Rapid Strike Thwacky. Fancy. Okay, Crushing Hammer. Probably gonna discard the Weezing hiding energy. There we go. They could have done the Muk though. Because if they'd done the Muk, we can't confuse them on the next turn. I don't think we're confusing them. We're just gonna target the Star Bloom. We're gonna target, as we planned, the Shaymin VMAX, VSTAR, so that we get to remove that ability from play. Prevent them from using the ability. I don't think they have more copies. They may just bench another one, so let's hope they don't do that. I don't think they're playing that many copies though, because they need the stage 2, they need a VMAX. We're gonna do that. We're just gonna boss the Shaymin and hope they get stuck in the active spot for enough turns for us to do the knockout. We got a hiding, that means we got to prepare the Crobat right now. If we do a boss, we can't search for a Crobat though. So we're gonna have to sacrifice a few other things if we want to be targeting the Shaymin V-Star this turn. We get to evolve at least. That's a free evolution. We can't search for anything with that Turffield, so let's just leave it. We can actually shuffle the deck though. Shaymin. Shay. Boss order. We don't have a Cyrus. I actually opened a pack earlier and got my first Cyrus earlier today, but it was after the recording, so I didn't manage to put it into the deck. But for future decks, definitely I'm gonna put the Cyrus, because Lysander is outdated. Giovanni is outdated as well. So now they need just 2 more energies to retreat, 1 more energy for the attack, 120 damage. They are not doing a knockout yet with Revenge Blast, fortunately, because we haven't drew a single prize card. They should have given us a Thwacky knockout. If we knock out the Thwacky though, we can actually kill the Rillaboom and deny them the Voltage ability completely. So I suppose they're saving it for a reason. Okay, We better get a Crushing Hammer on the next turn. If we're crushing, we can actually buy ourselves an extra turn. If we get an extra turn, I'll be super happy because we can add up to 16 damage counter with poison. Severe poison, that's so cool. Are we gonna play Marnie or Research? I'm just gonna rod back the Weezing and then get our Crobat with the Research. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get it back, right? I don't think it's that unlikely because we have 2 more copies. We actually played a Marnie, okay. Because we are trying to save the boss order, I suppose. We have 1 final copy of boss. So we actually got the Crobat, the physical copy instead of the Quick Ball. We even got the extra Quick Ball as well. So we got a Crushing Hammer discard, that's great. We're gonna do the Crobat, attach the energy, and then prepare for our VMAX to do Max Cutter. I don't think we're doing Shrieking Poison. The reason we attached it just now is because we couldn't have attached to anything else. There's no other attackers to spend our energies on. We actually got another heads though. That's really good. Okay, 12 damage counters. Time is ticking. Clock's ticking. Shaymin. Choose your cards wisely. Ha ha ha. We have now 3 energies, 5 energies. They need now 5 energies to retreat with Shaymin, and 2 energies to attack. 2 strikes to knock out the Weezing. So they need 2 energies. That means they need 3 turns to kill our Weezing, and by then Shaymin would have died. So if they don't pull out their switch, they're done. Escape Rope is gonna help them as well, because they get to Voltage Speed if they do Escape Rope. They get to kill us with Rillaboom if they do that. So let's hope, fingers crossed, they don't get their escape. If they don't get the boss, if they Cyrus, we can't actually win as well. So our only hope is if they don't do that. We need an extra turn. We actually get to do, oh, we get to do Crobat this turn. Stealth Poison, I think that's actually enough. 80, oh, 10 more damage. That's quite close though, because if we do Stealth Poison, we're no longer placing 4 damage counters. The poison is no more severe. The poison is now regular poison. It's not severe anymore. So there we go. They have 10 HP remaining. That's so close though. Please don't switch. Please don't do a boss. Please don't do anything. They already wasted 2 switch cards. So that's 2 less switch cards inside the deck. Let's hope they don't pull out a Bird Keeper or something. Okay, they passed the turn. Oh my gosh, I'm the happiest man alive. We actually killed off no more Star Bloom. We actually get to focus on the VMAX now. Okay, we got our final boss order to kill off the Rillaboom for the final prize. So right now we just need to worry about this VMAX and somehow kill it off with our Crobat or Weezing. I think it's better to do Severe Poison this turn. We're actually doing more with Stealth Poison though, because passing the turn we're doing 90, up to 90 damage. 70 plus 20 from Poison rather than 80 from Poison. From Severe Poison, my bad. Okay, we're just gonna attach the extra energy on Crobat. All we need is another one on the next turn to do Max Cutter. Is that enough though? 90, 130. 130 plus 180. 310. So we need 2 more poison. We need 2 more Pokemon checkups. So that means they need to pass the turn twice for us to knock it out with our poison. But they actually have a lot of retreat costs now. They need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 energies to retreat. So I don't think they have any more switch cards, hopefully. We did Stealth Poison, lock them from the ability again. And they're gonna kill us this turn. They're gonna kill off the Weezing, finally allowing them to use the Voltage Beat. Okay. They actually didn't get their energy though. Isn't that sad? They got no energy, so we're just gonna do Max Cutter. We should have done Severe Poison though and buy us a bit more time, but Max Cutter is actually gonna help us do the knockout if they don't switch. If they switch, we're done. Yeah, we should have done severe poison and wait for the boss order. If they switch, we can actually do a boss and then kill it off with a max cutter. But if they somehow bench a Shaymin right now, I don't know what to say. If they switch and bench a Shaymin, I'm gonna be pissed. They can quite easily pull that off though. You never know. Shaymin for the Star Bloom later on. I'm gonna flip out, yo. But now they actually need only 2 more energies to retreat. So they can actually voltage beat for the retreat, but they can't attack if they do that. They need a second Rillaboom for the next V card to attack. But that's not even enough. 3 energies is not enough to attack. Not enough to do enough damage. So Choice Belt, they actually get to do 210 damage to our Crobat. And they get to draw 3 cards with Rose Tower right now, which is horrible. So they can't, if they don't retreat, they can't actually retreat because they need 2 extra energies for the retreat cost. And they didn't use Voltage Beat for the active, so that means passing the turn, they're definitely gonna pass the turn attacking. We got our final 3 prize. Sorry, we got our, what do you call that? We're down to 1 last prize card, sorry guys. Okay. So now we just need a boss to kill. And it's actually our turn right now. This is now our turn, which is great. That means we get to poison them, severe poison, and then lock them in the active spot again. Or even stealth poison. And they just conceded. We won against Rillaboom, Rillaboom Voltage Beat deck. Rillaboom with, what's it called? Shaymin VSTAR. Not a lot of people play Rapid Strike Rillaboom, right? Because Rapid Strike, you can actually do Rapid Strike Energy and then Leafeon, Melanie, and you get to do so much for Rillaboom though. Rose and Rapid Strike Energy. I played Cinccino Rose for the Rapid Strike VMAX, and then all you need to do is attach a Rapid Strike Energy from your hand. You're good to go for 4 energy in a single turn. Cinccino to discard your energy cards, Rose for that extra 2 grass energy from the discard pile. Okay, let's focus on the game right now. They're playing a Cryogonal, no ability, virtually no abilities on their field, because they're playing Element Chain, Kyogre, Groudon probably, but they have a Cramorant in their deck though, a Cramorant for the Spit Shot. So Spit Shot actually is good for us because we have our Manaphy. That means they can only spit on our active Pokemon. They can't spit on anything else. We're gonna get a Crobat. We're gonna attach the energy to the Crobat. We should be playing our Weezing though. If we do our Weezing, they can't retreat. And they can't do the Spit Shot on the next turn. So, oh, we actually attached to Grimer. Interesting. Because we want to be drawing more cards, right? So we got no Weezing, which is horrible. That means we're gonna have to evolve with Ascension. We got a Heads at least. We're gonna discard that one. Force them to do another Element Chain. Unless they, for some reason, by some miraculous chance, get a double turbo. They can actually do a Weezing knockout with a double turbo on the Spit Shot, on the Cramorant. Because we haven't poisoned them. So we should have definitely used our Ultra Ball just now, but I don't want to discard my VMAX though. We kind of need the VMAX. I think we only have 1 copy. So this is the early version of the list. We're only playing 1 copy of the VMAX for this list. The final upgrade, I actually decided on 2 copies because the VMAX actually helps out a lot. If you don't do enough damage, you can't actually win that easily. So we need Max Cutter at the last minute. We need Stealth Poison to start with, because Severe Poison is actually not going to do enough. It's going to trap them, but only for so long until they get their switch card. If they get their Bird Keeper, switch, boss order even, they can use their ability, they can use their attacks, they can destroy your Weezing completely. So Crobat is an essential card, apparently. We got no heads, we got a boss, so we get to at least poison and force them to get 80 to get hit by 80 damage. At least we have that. We got 0 handle. Now we have nothing in our hand. We just need quick ball is not gonna help us. We need 2 turns if we got a quick ball for a Crobat. So let's hope we get a PRS or something like that. If we get a PRS, we can actually do the energy attachment attack again. They actually have to discard everything. Discard all energy. So now they are back to 0 and they can't retreat because we have a Muk, so they actually need 2 energies to retreat. So we're actually stalling with our 1 copy of Muk on the bench. It actually helped us stall for that extra 1 turn. If they attach to the Cramorant, they can actually use Big Catch, but they can't retreat though. Oh my goodness, they did escape rope. That's horrible. I was so sure I was gonna kill that thing. The pesky Cramorant can now attack a second time, doing another spit shot, which is horrible. Ice Rider, they got Glacial Lance doing 200 damage. Not bad. Okay, we got PRs finally. We're gonna get our Crobat hiding energy. Are we gonna get a hiding? I'm not sure. What can we get? So let's just attach the energy to the VMAX first, and then do the Crobat after that. Oh, we need to do... I don't know what to do though. If we attach to the Weezing, it's just gonna get knocked out on the next turn, right? Because they got Ice Rider already prepared, charged up and ready to go. Let's do a Galar Mind Trap and force them to Element Chain again. Are we gonna evolve? Let's just leave it. I think it's better just to evolve though, because if we get the evolution card out right now, we can actually increase the chances of us getting a supporter card from the top deck later on. So it's always better just to play your Incense early, even if you don't need to evolve it, because you're forcing your opponent to either play a Marnie or allowing you to evolve on the next turn. Icy Snow. Okay, they did not retreat. We're just gonna boss order right here. We're gonna boss and kill off the Cramorant with our poison. Finally killing off the Cramorant. They can't attack with it because they haven't attached enough energies. They should have Element Chain on the Cramorant just now, but I don't think they wanted to, because you have to waste that energy, right? You have to discard all energies for only 160. Whereas Ice Rider does more damage. You only need to discard 2 energies for 200 on the active, and since they can't target the bench, there's no point doing Spit Shot. Yeah, I suppose that's the reason. There's no point doing a Cramorant just because the energy cost is the same, and you discard more energies for these, for the same effect on the active. You can't target the bench because of Manaphy. That's the reason they didn't charge up their Cramorant. Big Catch for the last attack before it dies. The Dying Wish. Last Gift. Same as your Gengar, I suppose. Last Gift. But Gengar is an ability. If you get knocked out as a 1 price card, the stage 2. If you get knocked out by opponent's attack, by damage from an opponent's attack on the last turn, you get to search your deck for any 2 cards, put them into your hand, and then shuffle your deck. So we got Crushing Hammer, which isn't going to help us much. We're just gonna hit and run back to our Weezing. Let's run back to a Koffing actually. I don't think we should be wasting our Severe Poison. We want to be saving that card so that we get to do the attack on the next turn. So that means they actually need a lot of energies to retreat. They need 5 energies right now. Sorry, my bad, 4 energies. So if they attach from their hand, they can actually retreat and save themselves from a knockout. But they need to waste 4 energies to do that. but they can do it though. I think it's better to do it because you're forcing your opponent to waste one turn not collecting a prize, and then actually knocking out the Koffing this turn is gonna help them a lot. So they better retreat. But they can actually do Element Chain on the Kyogre though. So we better keep our Manaphy alive. We better keep Manaphy alive against that monstrous Kyogre, which can do a lot of damage to our V cards. We're playing Crobat V on the bench as well. We cannot afford for Manaphy to die that early. Okay, we're gonna do Bird Keeper. Find our Hiding Energy so we get to do our Stealth Poison more times. There we go. We're gonna Hiding on the Weezing. Should we do Hiding on the Muk? If we do Hiding on the Muk, we can actually put it in the active spot later. Let's just keep Hiding in our hand and then decide on when to attach it. Because we can actually draw it back if they do a Marnie. I think we have like one last Hiding Energy inside the deck. So fingers crossed they don't Marnie us. They're gonna knock us out anyways, right? So we got 2 prizes left, they got 5. They actually killed the Manaphy. Oh no, that's horrible. So now they get to do their Kyogre. We better poison them fast. So they discard 2 energies, that means they now need 5 energies to retreat. We're poisoning them this turn. They need 5 energies to retreat. They can't use Kyogre that easily unless they get their switch card Escape Rope. So let's hope they don't get those cards in time, because we are trapping them with our Sludge Street and Galar Mine. If they get one Stadium card though, they can just attach from their hand and retreat. But if they do that, we just need to Max Cutter the Kyogre. Max Cutter on the Kyogre is enough to kill it. We should have attached an energy from our hand though. Attached to the Weezing this turn, and then you know, rot the energy cards back, play a research to get the rod back or something. To get the energies back, my bad. Marnie probably just because we have another Grimer on the bench and we want to be saving our Muk. Or we can actually rescue not just the energy but one copy of Muk as well with our rod, and then do the research. Okay, they did a Pierce. They didn't even do their Glacial Lance because I think they're trying to prepare for the retreat. They need a lot of energies though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? They need 5 energies. That's quite ridiculous. If they find their Stadium card though, they can actually retreat with just 3 energies. They should have done Glacial Lance. And then slowly get their switch card. I don't think they have that many switch cards in their deck. Cryogonal, basic box deck. Okay. Water box with 1 Cramorant, flying type. Okay, we're just gonna do Hiding on... We should have done Hiding on Weezing though. I don't know what I was thinking. He's gonna get knocked out the next turn, right? 40 is actually not enough. 40. So we're gonna block them from using Air Balloon, because that's actually enough if they do an Air Balloon. So we're trying to kill this Ice Rider for the last 2 prize. But the more pressing matter is that Kyogre. We're trying to force them not to be able to retreat to that monstrous bench sniper, because we have no more Manaphy to guard our bench. I think we routed back the Manaphy. So we're gonna do our Max Cutter to kill off for the last 2 prize. They actually pass the turn not retreating because they don't have enough energies, I suppose. I think they finally have enough though, right? I'm not too sure. Oh, we actually evolved another Muk. I think we evolved another one. So we actually won against a Cryogonal box deck. They're playing Ice Water type with Kyogre and Ice Rider. They also have their Cramorant for the Spit Shot. So hitting the bench with Spit Shot, 160 damage. Hitting the bench with Aqua Storm and also Glacial Lance doing the active knockout. No Volcarona apparently, because they have no fire energy. So instead of fire, they're playing a full-on water box with a heavy attacker V card for the active Pokemon and a heavy bench sniper, 1 prize, Kyogre and V Cramorant for the bench snipe. Okay, here comes a Vaporeon VMAX doing Bubble Pod on the Wishiwashi. I'm actually giving off spoilers, but you know, it's gonna pay off later. Wishiwashi is actually quite smart though if you play your Vaporeon with that card, because you get to immediately, without having to Frostmoth, you don't need Frostmoth, you don't need to bucket for extra energies into your hand. If you don't get 3 energies attached in a single turn, you can't actually boost the HP. So Bubble Pod actually secures you that HP boost, unless your opponent plays Crushing Hammer, TML, or cards like, you know, Clefable to put energy cards back, Boss or Clefable. Then they can actually kill it with only 30 HP remaining. So it's not perfect. Any combos or strategy that you play is not perfect, obviously, but it's actually doing a lot though. You already secure yourself that 180 HP on your Wishiwashi without having to pull out your Frostmoth or your energy cards. You just automatically, all you need to do is discard that Wishiwashi and 3 energy cards. If you play the Wishiwashi first, you can actually wait for it to get knocked out, and then Vaporeon, you know, later on in the game, pull off a Bubble Pod to revive that card back to 180 HP, and then Cheryl on your Vaporeon, retreat your Wishiwashi. You can actually do a lot with that combo, because you just need 1 energy, 1 colorless energy for Bubble Pod, and Cheryl is going to help you so much for Vaporeon deck. Triple draw. It even has that ability, that super strong attack to draw 3 cards as the basic. So we got 2 Muk evolutions. We're gonna retreat, try to get out our Weezing, Poison, Trap it. If they evolve, they get to remove the special condition though. So we're just gonna Crobat first and then research. Are we gonna boss though? I don't think we are. We're just gonna research. We can actually play Escape Rope. You should have done Escape Rope though. We actually decided not to, but definitely should have done Escape Rope, because they can actually retreat to either the Wishiwashi, which would allow us to do a knockout, or the Bubble Pod. If they retreat to the Vaporeon, that means we are trapping the Vaporeon on this turn from the get-go. They need 4 energy to retreat. Even if they play a Tower of Waters, they still need 2 energies to retreat the Vaporeon, so they need to waste a couple of energies, which isn't a big deal because they are attacking with Wishiwashi anyways. But Vaporeon can still do a lot of damage though. 200 damage is not bad. So discarding energies can actually help us unless they play Melanie or Elemental Badge. Melanie Elemental Badge is going to help them so much. I mean, this is quite a strong deck, isn't it? It looks quite simple, but most simple decks are super strong. So if you have 1 Elemental Badge, imagine that. Can you imagine? 1 Elemental Badge and your Rapid Strike energy, that's enough for you to do 200 damage with your Max Torrent. And they even got Octillery to either search their deck for Wishiwashi, because Wishiwashi is a Rapid Strike as well. So they can either search for Rapid Strike energy, or Vaporeon VMAX, Vaporeon V, or the Wishiwashi to discard from their hand, and then discard 3 more energy cards with either Research or Milo or anything, Zinnia's Resolve. They can actually do Bubble Pod much easier, and they can even, you know, do their Max Torrent much easier with that Octillery. So they got 2 Wishiwashis. They didn't discard it though, they just leave it bare on the bench, which is quite silly if you ask me. They may just decide to put Rapid Strike energy on the Wishiwashi. So Wishiwashi, if you do Rapid Strike energy, you still get to activate the ability. So you just need 1 water and 1 Rapid Strike energy for it to have 180 HP, but you only get to do 60 damage if you have a Rapid Strike and a water attached to it, because it only does 30 extra damage for each basic energy attached to it. So Rapid Strike energy does not count for the damage addition. Okay, we're gonna Severe Poison Trap them. We actually got a Galar Mine as well, which is great, but we got a dead hand right now. We're stuck on the next turn, left with nothing but a Weezing and a Rod. That's okay, we're probably gonna top deck something soon. We have no more Crobats 25 cards left in the deck. They got 35, so I don't think it's that bad. They got 2 cards in their hand as well. If they pull off a switch in time, they can actually save themselves. I'm really hoping they don't play a Cheryl for this deck, because if they Cheryl, we're so done. They can heal everything, can you imagine? Everything. I would have done a switch though. I would have switched to the second Vaporeon, because I can't even attack with, you know, Crobat. Crobat's not attacking anyway, so if I were playing the Vaporeon deck, I would have switched to the second Vaporeon, do a couple knockouts before doing the Cheryl at the last minute, because that way we get to heal. I get to heal from both the VMAXs. So much damage counters. But let's hope they don't play that card. Like, if they don't have a Cheryl at all, that would be grand. But I don't think we can afford to hope for that. So let's just do energy attachment to our Crobat VMAX. Prepare for a Vaporeon knockout. So they actually need extra 2 energies to retreat. Tower of Water is neutralized with our Sludge Street ability. I keep saying that, but it's an important, you know, it's an important note, because they are forced to use their switch cards. They are forced to waste their energies to do the retreat, and that actually does something. So max torrent for 100 damage. They actually retreat on the bench, which is horrible. Preparing for a Cheryl at the last minute. They actually have a Nessa. That means they get to. Oh, I'm confusing with the last game. My bad. The last game, the Cryogonal, they played a Nessa. So this one, I don't think they have a Nessa. They could quite possibly play that card though, to retrieve their energy cards and do Bubble Pot at the last minute. They can even Bubble Pot for a second Vaporeon VMAX if we knock out the first one. So that's how crazy that attack is. You get to search, you get to revive any water type Pokemon, a VMAX, a stage 2, anything, and attach 3 energies from your discard pile to it. Quite interesting. It's kind of like your Jolteon, Max Thunder Rumble. Just need 1 energy with your Elemental Badge, and you get to do Cheryl consistently, you know, doing 200 damage total every single turn. Whereas with your Vaporeon, you get to bring 3 energy cards into play, up to 4 energies, because you're attaching from your hand as well, every single turn. And then Cheryl, you're good to go. If it's a normal turn, you get to play Sharon's Care as well. Okay. Now we're gonna confuse them, maybe? Are we gonna confuse them? I don't think we have a choice. We can't do anything else but to shriek. But to shriek like hell. Don't really want to say that, but so we can actually retreat and Bird Keeper to draw cards. We're just gonna bench the Grimer and then wait to evolve. Retreat right now to the Weezing. Bird Keeper back. If we get a Darkness, we're gonna attach that one. We got nothing, so we're just gonna do the hiding on the active. Is probably gonna die the next turn. They actually can't knock it out with a Zigzagoon though. If they don't do a Zigzagoon, Muk is staying alive, and we get to retreat later on. So they need to discard 2 energies to retreat, which is not a lot, but it's something. They got a BD, which is horrible. BD for Wishiwashi, but it still need that extra 1 energy though. Lucky Ice Pop, super annoying. Are they gonna flip the coin for the confusion? Or are they gonna switch? Probably gonna retreat and Bubble Pot. And they got a Tails with confusion, that's great. That means we got a free turn. And we got another Muk, look at that. Now they need 3 energies to retreat. If we get our Galar Mine, they need like 7 energies to retreat. That's how crazy that card is. Okay, we should be preparing for a Stealth Poison though, right? We should be charging up our Crobat to do Max Cutter on the second VMAX. I mean, we could do that. But I suppose we weren't anticipating a Cheryl. I don't think we were expecting a Cheryl. That's why we didn't do that. I mean, if your opponent play VMAXs, always be prepared for that card. That massive heal, crazy combo. We're just gonna retreat to Weezing because we just need 30 damage to knock out the Wishiwashi if we did that. So we're gonna Team Yell, remove that energy from play. That means they're forced to do a Bubble Pod the next turn. We actually get to knock it out with Severe Poison right now because they have no abilities. That means they have a raw 30 HP for Wishiwashi, knocked out with Severe Poison. That's the power of neutralizing gas, haha. So we actually lock our opponent's Rapid Strike Malamar's ability. So that means Cinccino, Shady Dealings, Octillery has no ability for the first game. For the second game, we locked the Rillaboom. For the third game, I think it was no abilities. They weren't playing any abilities with Cryogonal. So Cryogonal box deck has no ability because they're playing a full-on bench basic attacker. And now we're up against Vaporeon, no ability as well, but they have Wishiwashi, one price attacker with School, I forgot the ability, Swarming or something. With the HP boost, toughness boosting ability. He only boosts his own HP though. 120 extra HP, can you imagine? Okay, we did a Severe Poison. This is very risky because they have a few more HP remaining. So if they do a Cheryl right now, they can totally destroy our strategy. They just need one copy of Cheryl. This is very I don't like this. We should definitely have prepared a Crobat much earlier. So I think this list only has one VMAX. I don't think we have a VMAX inside the deck because it's priced. So this deck list has only one copy just because it's the early version. So the final upgraded version, I added 2 copies just because it's stronger that way. And as you can see, we have 4 copies of Muk for this list. But I eventually decided to add one more VMAX and one more copy of the basic Koffing. Initially playing only 3 copies of the Koffing Weezing line. Now we have 4 Koffing, 3 Weezing, 2 Crobat VMAX, and only 3 copies of each Muk and Grimer, which isn't really all that necessary to be honest. If you have 2 in play, that's good enough, so I suppose 3 is good enough. I don't think we need 4. So playing 4 copies of Koffing is much more important. It actually helps you better in the long run because it helps you get it as your first active. You have a higher chance of, you know, pulling off an Ascension early because we only have 3 switch cards in this deck, 2 Bird Keeper and 1 Escape Rope. So doing Ascension on your first turn, you get to lock them from the ability, which is a big deal, which is a massive deal playing a Weezing. We get to kill the Wishiwashi with Max Cutter because we have finally Crobat VMAX ready to go charged up. But we're just gonna boss order kill off the VMAX because it's just laying there, giving us that delicious 3 prize draw. Laying there on the bench with so much damage controls on it. No Cheryl, thank god. They may have it inside the deck, they may not, but I don't care. We actually escaped. We cheated death. We cheated that Cheryl death. I don't know what to say, but we get to avoid the massive recovery from that crazy, insane Herb Lady, Grass Lady. She actually has a Blissey. I think Cheryl has a Blissey, so that's why it heals so much. I think she was supposed to guide you. You're supposed to guide her in the Diamond and Pearl series. The Diamond and Pearl game, Nintendo DS game, where you have to go through Eternal Forest with Cheryl. Okay, let's focus on this one. They're playing Cryogonal again with Kyogre. This time is a full-on Kyogre Volcarona deck. So we're just gonna bench. We actually have no Manaphy for this list, so finally I decided this is the earliest version. So I actually patched it a bit differently. The recordings of the gameplay, the progression is not really that smooth. It's not like, you know, the earliest version of the list to the final version. I actually, you know, jumbled up the progression so that I get to showcase some of the gameplays earlier, because like Malamar deserves to be showed first, right? Malamar deserves to be showed first because it's a meta deck. So for this list we have no Manaphy, just because I thought it wasn't necessary, but apparently it is. So finally I decided for the final upgrade to add one copy. As I said, you need a Manaphy for any list, which is quite disappointing because we don't have as much space for those control cards. We would have added another Pokemon catcher or another Team Yell, another extra copy of Muk, Galar Mine, anything to destroy our opponents, to trap our opponent even more. But now we actually have a Manaphy, so let's just focus right now. They can do Aqua Storm later, so if they do Escape Rope Aqua Storm, they can kill off the active Crobat. If we evolve right now, we're saving ourselves, so let's just do a PRs. It's actually smarter to do a PRs, but we may just do a Weezing. I don't know what we're gonna do actually, I have no idea. I forgot what we did. This is a post-recorded audio. So we did a Bird Keeper instead of the PRs, but I would have done the PRs if I were playing right now. This is actually me playing, but it was like a few hours ago recorded. Okay, Weezing, Evolution. We're gonna Crushing Hammer first and then Evolve. This is quite bad. They're putting a smiley face on, really annoying. We can't even knock out the Cryogonal. This is really horrible. If we did Stealth Poison though, oh, that's the reason why I didn't evolve. If we did Stealth Poison, we are forced to retreat onto the bench. Even though we are saving our VMAX, they're still hitting it. They're not doing a knockout, but they're still hitting the VMAX, which is not a good thing. And we're doing the same amount of damage anyways. If they do an Escape Rope right now, they can actually kill off the Crobat though. Okay, they did a second Element Chain. I don't think that's smart, because that's gonna reduce the amount of energies inside your deck, and that means you don't get to do Aqua Storm for as much damage. So I think it's better just to, you know, retreat first, but I don't think they have another Cryo. I don't think they have a second Cryo. That's why they did the Element Chain before it dies. So they're giving us a free knockout this turn, which is sad because we poisoned them just now, which is great. Sad for them, but great for us. We're gonna do our PRs to do a Max Cutter this turn, and if they Aqua Storm, we're still safe in the active spot. So thank God for that. Volcarona can show up at any moment though, so always be prepared for that Volcarona. I think we may fare better benching a Crobat right now. I don't really want to though, but I don't think we have a choice. If we bench it later though, we may actually avoid death, because they're probably going to discard a lot of energies right now. You never know though, they could actually discard nothing but Pokemons this turn, Pokemon and trainer cards, and then discard energy cards on the next turn, doing a lot of damage on the following turn, but not on this turn. So you never know when is the best, which turn is the best, what is the best time to bench your Crobat. If you don't play a Manaphy, there's never a good time, because you just don't know. Okay, Aqua Storm. And they discarded nothing, look at that. They discarded nothing. They discarded Volcarona. We're gonna put a smiley face, because they discarded fucking Volcarona, look at that. We're gonna kill off the active, we're not gonna do boss. Because that actually needs a water energy. They need another water energy to do Aqua Storm for the next one. We're just gonna Max Cutter, do nothing. Even if they Aqua Storm, they still need... Sorry, even if they Escape Rope, they still need another extra strike. One more strike to kill off the VMAX. And I don't think it's that easy. They got 6 prize remaining, so they actually got all 6 prize remaining, which is quite sad, isn't it? Intimidation. Phew, that was close. Intimidation actually works really well though sometimes. If my opponent puts up emojis at the right time, it sometimes disturbs me heavily and I lose the game just because of that emoji, because I panic or I you know, assume they have a great hand or something like that. So intimidation works really well sometimes, but I don't like to win by intimidating my opponent. I prefer winning a fair game by, you know, by raw intelligence than, you know, bullying our opponent to concede or something. That doesn't really show off your intelligence, does it? It's intelligent, but in a different kind of way. So we're just gonna Shauna, hope for a hiding energy. They actually pull an escape rope, which is horrible. If we don't get a hiding energy or escape rope, we have 1 copy of escape rope. We got Bird Keeper, we got the hiding, there we go. We can't use the bird, but we got the hiding and we get to do our max cutter for the final knockout. We want a Kyogre, look at that. We actually want a Kyogre without a mana fee. With a hiding energy, we actually got like a lot of hiding in this deck as well. So that's all for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. Have a great day and bye for now, lovely people. Enjoy your life.